Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Visit ss96.net and use the promo code SwishMasters for 30% off on all hats, hoodies, t-shirts, even Swish Masters merch. Also, be sure to check out my latest beat tape, Scary Hour Beast 2, available on all streaming platforms. Thank you so much. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Swish Masters podcast. I am your co-host, Zay, the executive producer.
Your co-host Q, the guru. Zay, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. It's going real good for Steph Curry right now. As you know, the man just passed Ray Allen to be number one in all-time three-point field goals made. Shout out to Steph. That's an amazing accomplishment. Absolutely. And I'm sure he'll probably be like, all right, rough estimate. What do you think the number will be by the time he's done?
I think, honestly, I think he has a chance to get to 3,000 this season, or over 3,000 this season. He's going to get there. 2,974 threes, amazing accomplishment. He set the bar extremely high. He can rightfully say that he's the best shooter ever right now, at least NBA wise.
I don't think you can deny that. He's really solidified himself as the best NBA shooter in history, like shooter.
Absolutely.
I think by the time his career is over, he'll probably have at least 5,000. I can see that. He could probably have 5,000, man.
It's possible.
Because with his skill set, he played for years in this league. Unless he decides to retire like sooner than I think. But if he stays in it for as long as he can probably hit 5K.
Absolutely, man. He's only been in the league maybe 10 years. I think he won't be retiring for another at least 4 to 5 years, I'm sure. So he has that capability. Steph is it was crazy, man, to do it in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. Shout out to Pete Deal. Sad for the Knicks, but it was cool to see Steph just break the record. Ray Allen was in the building. Reggie Miller was in the building. It was amazing, man. Steph is out of this world.
Yeah, it's like 13 years, so he's still pretty relatively young in his career.
Oh yeah,
he's still definitely in his prime. So, man, shout out to Steph. It brings up the question. I know we had the conversation before about Steph Curry and his all-time status. Does this move him up at all for you as an all-time point guard?
Yeah. And obviously we talked about it before with the question of what is a point guard according to what generation or era you play in. Steph's greatness as a point guard, I feel like, is overshadowed by his shooting, and obviously we see the numbers, but he's also a great all-around point guard. He has the ability to make plays for others, set up in the pick and roll, just see the floor well. He's also a great point guard, and I think that when you take into account not only the shooting but the scoring ability, the ability to get to the rim and make the right play, he's still top of the league in that as well. I think when it's all said and done, he'll probably be one of the top point guards of all time as well.
Yeah, no denying that. I think he'll definitely be recognized as one of the top all-time point guards. But for me, I can't put him like number one. I can't do that. But he's definitely in that conversation, though.
Yeah. Not number
Definitely
one.
in that conversation.
We all
He's
know
number one.
that's Magic for me. Magic Johnson, number one all-time point guard.
Right.
I think that he arguably can have a legit case for top 5 point guards of the time.
I can agree with that. He can have a case for top 5, but not one.
No.
Not one, especially because of his accomplishments in the playoffs. He has a couple rings now. If he succeeds based on how they're playing this season, then somebody get another one. I'll probably definitely put him in top 5 after that point. Yeah. Especially if he can win a Finals MVP. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
another MVP. Yeah, like we'll see. And he's in the running for all that. So yeah, he balling now, Steph.
Yep. I think that's the only thing that he is without right now. He just needs he has MVP, multiple All-Star selections, NBA teams, championships.
Unanimous MVP.
Yeah, like he has 2 MVPs, like back to back. That's crazy.
Yeah, but one of them unanimous though. Like that was like the first. I believe it was the first. So yeah.
He very well might be getting his 3rd one this year. Him or Mr.
Very well could be. Yeah. Very well could be. But for me right now, Steph is in the lead in the very, very early poll for me. He's in the lead.
That's fair.
Speaking of Warriors, man, we could potentially see Clay in early January, man. So I'm telling you, y'all need to watch out. Y'all need to watch out, man. Y'all think y'all saw the Warriors on fire. Wait till Clay gets back on the court. And he's been looking good. I've been seeing some videos of Clay.
Yeah.
He's looking good. I don't know. The team plays the Warriors that night. I'm sorry for you.
So January to the end of the season is game over for everyone else, is what you're saying?
If Clay's playing well, yeah.
I mean,
and I believe he has a lot to prove. He'll be like, y'all must have forgot. Steph ain't the only shooter on this team now. He's not the only top 5 shooter in the history.
Right.
Clay is too. So he can honestly make that argument because the only reason he's not in there right now is because he hasn't played the past couple seasons.
True.
If he comes back, reminds everybody, hey, I'm the guy that scored, I forgot how many points with literally like 5-6 dribbles. I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
30 and a quarter.
That's that too. And a quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really going to be a great time going into 2022. We obviously are seeing Steph, but like you said, I think Clay is very, what's the good word? Vindictive in a sense. Not that he's like, obviously him and Steph are like brothers. They're cool, but I think, like you said, everybody has like slept on him during these last 2 years because he's been out.
Right.
Clay, arguably, is still as great, or if not better, a shooter than Steph because of his ability to catch and shoot. Both of them. I mean, it's crazy. So when they get Clay back, there's no drop off. You know, like sometimes I feel like somebody comes back, you need to adjust how they play. But the way they play is going to be like nothing ever changed. And you're going to see threes galore, even more. Like you see Steph getting like 10 threes a game. That Clay's going to come in and hit like 5 to 8 threes a game. So it's going to be ridiculous, man. And I think that even like Clay himself has said, like, I feel disrespected. Like you see the prank with him having the the jersey not making the top 75 and everything. So I feel like he has a lot that he wants to come out and say and prove and show. So
Yeah, and I believe he'll do it.
yeah,
I believe he'll do it. And that not only that, they still have the same coach, same system. So they should just fit perfectly.
They pretty much have gotten all around better, and still now they have key pieces with obviously the cornerstones being Steph and Clay, and then Draymond's there. You got Iguodala back. Jordan Poole is there, and he's developed along with all their other Toscano
breakout season. Yep.
GP.
They also got like you said, Wiggins is having a better season this year. They also have some young players we haven't really seen like that yet. You know, they got Wiseman, some potential. You got Kuminga, who has had some potential, man. Like these guys. Oh yeah, I forgot about Moody. They got some potential. They got a lot of potential there, man. A lot of good young players. Like,
yeah, they're gonna be good. Playoff time is gonna be. The West is who's gonna? I hate to say it, but I right now the way it's set up, I don't see anybody really giving them any competition right now. It's I don't know. It's hard to say that anybody can compete with the Warriors in a 7-game series, and then they don't even have all of their pieces back. They don't even have the depth that they will eventually have going down the line of the season. So
yep, it's crazy. Yep, look out, y'all. Look out. But yeah, I agree. I don't have him one yet. He definitely make the case for one of the top PGs. But if Steph continues to have a great season, man, we'll definitely probably see him top 5 all the time.
Definitely.
So yeah, let's talk about another team who's in the West. We just gotta talk about them because that's what people do. But I do like this one thing that they did. I do love this. The Lakers signed Isaiah Thomas, man. And for those of you that probably don't remember, Isaiah Thomas is a dog. He can score. This man's been balling out in the G League. Before that, in the Drew League and the Pro-Am circuits, he has been balling, trying to get back to the league. And thankfully, the Lakers gave him a chance. And I'm happy that they did. He played his first game. He played well. He outscored the major stars from the Lakers. So, shout out to IT. Reaction to IT being on the Lakers on a 10-day contract, by the way.
Extremely happy for IT. We all know how much of a superstar that he was prior to him being injured. And to see him finally back playing, hooping, getting buckets is great to see. We finally get to share some positive news for the Lakers. I feel like the past couple weeks, months, have just been like, oh, what's going on with the Lakers and AD and everything else. But this is something that I like for the Lakers finally, but more so for IT. Even before we get into his performance with the Lakers, his debut for this season with the Lakers, IT was balling in Drew League, getting 60, dropping record numbers, and then getting 42 in his G League debut, and then immediately getting signed with the Lakers. We all know that he was an MVP candidate years ago, but just because of how the league is and unfortunate circumstances, he's been knocked out of that. But he's finally back. He looks he looks really good. Looks like his old self, and I'm glad to see him finally get his shot, and just play him. He looked great. Floater, his handle, everything is back. His explosiveness as a small guard. That's what I think was able to make his money on, and the ability to just put the ball in the bucket. So shout out to IT dropping 19 in 22 minutes or something like that. It was awesome.
Yeah. As far as fit for the Lakers, I don't know. That whole roster needs some work, honestly. Still got Russ, Rondo, and now IT. And then you still have some other young guards that haven't played yet, like Kendrick Nunn. You still got THT. You still got Monk, Ellington, Bradley. They need to figure out how to properly give minutes to these players, because I want IT to be a long-term player, but he is a small guard. One of the Lakers' issues is defense. I'm not sure how much he helps you there, but I love the offensive power he gives you. I believe he can be off the bench, give you some offensive output. But can you play him and Rondo at the same time? I don't think so. Frank Vogel's got a task to try to get these rotations right. I don't know. It's like now you got too many smalls and too many bigs now. You need some wings, some like proper wings. I don't know. Let me get some sorted out by this trade deadline. They got a long time for that, but until they fix this roster, I don't know.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the highlights last night. Unfortunately, IT played great, but the Lakers lost. And like you said, they have a collective of guards now. Obviously, Russell Westbrook, Rondo, Bradley, all these guys. And you bring in a 5'9" point guard, which is I'm glad to see him finally back in the NBA. But for this team to win is not the best construction to me. I think I saw at one point they had Rondo, Westbrook, and IT on the floor. And that is
not good.
Tallest guard on the floor is 6'3", and now he's, I guess, playing. I mean, he's Russell Westbrook, so it doesn't really matter because he can get down low and get rebounds. But still, you want to build your roster a little bit bigger in a sense. You want some, I mean, there are plenty of 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guards or forwards that you can put on the wing for defensive purposes. And it's kind of weird because Frank Vogel is known for more so being a defensive-minded coach.
True.
I don't understand.
But there's only so much you can do as a coach without the proper personnel, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And with all that, I blame Pelinka. And LeBron to some degree, because he's the GM as well, right? So
GM.
Oh, but you're right. Vogel's more of a defensive-minded coach, but he's about to find himself fired if he doesn't fix something.
You think he gets fired this season, or after?
Good. It very well could be. I give him till the latest is All-Star break, because if they're not looking good by the All-Star break, which is like 2 months,
right?
He's probably gonna be out of there.
I mean,
but the quickest, the earliest he could be fired, like January. The latest is All-Star break. If he surpasses the All-Star break, he'll probably be there till the end of the season.
Man, it's just a couple of weeks before January hit. So
I know. That's telling you got some work to do.
Right now, the Lakers are above 500. They're in sixth place. And they
are, but there have been steps, though. You should be seeing some type of improvement. There's been some improvement in Russ's play. They have some improvement in some of the players. Like shout out to Austin Reeves, that young dude.
Yep.
Shout out to him. You see some glimpses of where it could probably work, but these rotations are not working. Why would you ever put Russ and Rondo on the floor at the same time? I don't get it. And he's done this multiple times, and that's a coaching thing right there. Like you said, IT, Rondo, and Russ at the same time.
I don't like that one at all. That was that's very questionable to me.
And that's coaching.
Still, like you said, even just Rondo and Westbrook, it works if they have the other three players on the floor being shooters, or
right.
But they don't seem to have a decent balance between guys that can handle the ball, guys that can shoot, guys that are defensive rebounders. Like they just have many pieces that kind of do the same thing and put them all on the floor together, and then there's no diversity and balance to your offense. So or even sometimes defensively, as we saw the 3 small guard lineup, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get fired for the rotations. I feel like he, especially really just coming off of a championship a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, he may have a chance to stick around. But I feel like after the season, if they don't improve and they stay middle of the way like they are, Frank Vogel probably will be let go, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll say this too. I forgot to mention this, but some of the rotations could be due to injury and COVID health and safety protocols. I believe the Lakers were kind of hit by the health and safety protocols. That's why some players weren't playing yesterday, and because of that, it limited to what your rotations can be. So I want to make sure to mention that, because that was true. Because I think Bradley was in protocol, and you didn't see Reeves at all, because he could probably also be in the protocol. I don't know about that for sure, but he wasn't nowhere on the minute log.
Yeah.
So he was probably on that list. And speaking of that, there are lots of players on this list. And before I even get to that, let me talk about something else that happened in the game real quick. Anthony Davis got 2 injuries in that one game. It's unfortunate. He hurt his ankle and he had a knee contusion. The good thing is that he flew with the team. Most of the time, you have an injury like that, they'll probably send you home, get you looked out at, stay home. But he's with the team. So that's some good news. But the fact that he suffered another injury brings the question just about him. And in that same game, Cat was dominating Karl Anthony Towns, for some of y'all that don't know. But Karl Anthony Towns was, boy, what's going on? He actually went on him so bad that he did a too little. He did a too little celebration on AD. And AD, come on, man. Does this man bully you in the paint? AD seems like to not spark fear in these players and these other bigs now. I believe there was a certain point in time where you were like, oh shoot, AD, I feel like that they revered him to some certain degree, but now it's like, this ain't nothing. You got Cat doing that to you. I already know how Joel Embiid feels. He doesn't care about nobody. He'll go at anybody. But
yeah,
I miss the old AD. That's all I'm saying.
It's unfortunate to see Anthony Davis once again get injured. It's tough as a fan, as a basketball fan. You don't want to see guys get injured. But AD he he can't help. Like, he can't not get injured is what I'm trying to say. Every year it's like, man, AD's gonna get hurt. Well, I'm not saying he's gonna get hurt. He gets hurt, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I don't know. Durability is like his biggest enemy. Not any player, but himself. His durability is his greatest downfall to his career. If AD stayed healthy for 4 extra seasons, if he was able to do that, the Lakers would have probably won last year and got out of the first round against the Suns. You know, like they had the potential to win a lot more. He probably had a lot of chances to be even better than he is. We know how great he is when he's healthy, but imagine AD being healthy for multiple seasons and not missing time. It would be a different situation, different story for each year, especially with him being on the Lakers and being at his peak, at his assertive, aggressive. I'm gonna go out here and dominate, be a monster. It would be a different story, but unfortunately, he's gotten hurt too many times. I think the Lakers probably out of it this season. Like, they don't have maybe try it again next year, but it looks like their window is closing for me.
That's why I said Van Vogel is going to be in danger of losing his job, because you're not going to just as you all know, the coach is the scapegoat first. But back to AD real quick. Do you think, because he hasn't been just dominant AD in the paint, do you feel like that's a big reason because of that is due to his injury history? Like, he's playing like he doesn't want to get injured, so that's why he's on the perimeter more. He's not down in the trenches, so they can say he's not on the block, doing post-ups, dominating. Because do you feel like any of that is affecting his play? Just the fact that he doesn't want to get injured?
Definitely, especially with someone with his injury history. I understand it. Being a big man, and knees are the first thing to go out. I feel like he probably, he's trying to avoid getting injured, and probably is in his head about it. A little bit nervous, a little bit scared. And to be fair, with his injury history, I get it. But at the same time, if you're going to be one of the greats, if you're going to go out there and dominate, you can't let that be a reason to keep you from being aggressive. Like last night, he had 9 points. And given he played 20 minutes before he got hurt and then hurt again, but he had 1 rebound. There's no way I'm Anthony Davis and I'm 6'11", 7 feet tall, whatever, and I'm getting 1 rebound in 20 minutes. I feel like for him, he has to get down low, be aggressive, because he's 7 feet tall and he's able to boost his team a lot more by being a presence in the paint. We saw it a year ago when he beat my team, because he was just dominant down low. And obviously he can shoot, but I feel like even his perimeter shooting has been great this year. I feel like, yes, you do, want to take it easy. And we know that LeBron does this too during the regular season. It's kind of like, I'm gonna lay low and then crank it up later in the season, and then going into the playoffs, full aggressiveness, everything. That's fine, but don't change everything about who you are as a player and how you play just because of the possibility that comes with the game. That's part of it.
Yeah, and along to what you said, he only had 1 rebound in 20 minutes. Did you know that Rondo out rebounded him? Rondo got 5.
Every IT out rebounded.
IT out rebounded. Granted, he had 2, but he got 1 more than AD.
Well, he played
IT.
IT played like a minute and a half longer than AD did, and got 2 rebounds compared to his 1. He got double the amount of rebounds, and he's the shortest player probably in the league.
Right, like I said, Rondo had more. He had 5.
Yeah,
about the same amount of time as IT.
If I'm 7 feet tall and I'm a dominant post player like Anthony Davis, in 5 minutes I should have at least 4 to 5 boards. Like, there's no way that you aren't getting that. You didn't get 2. You didn't get 2 boards. You didn't get 2 rebounds in 20 minutes. Fair, you got hurt, came back, but if nothing at all, the scoring, okay, you have
on wingspan alone, he should get something. You know, that's all we're saying. We understand he got hurt. It's just the fact on wingspan alone and height, he should be able to get some, and that also tells me that he's not in the paint like he should be, or something.
I mean,
I don't know. The only reason you're not getting it is because you're not crashing.
Yeah.
You gotta crash. By crash, y'all mean crash the boards. You know, the best way, defense is not complete until you grab the rebound.
Absolutely, yeah.
You gotta grab that rebound. And something else you said, about AD, his mindset. I can understand too to not want to get injured. I get that, but you're cutting off a whole type of value you bring to the game. You know, you cut off an entire skill set that can be useful to yourself and your team. Also, the difference between him and LeBron, I know LeBron took time off, but AD is not in his 30s. That's no excuse. LeBron when he was older, yeah, he did that. But he was in his 30s. LeBron is like, man, it's amazing that he's still playing now at a top level. But AD has no excuse to do that. He needs to go in and just play. We want to see that as fans.
Yep.
Guys see the potential.
Guys like we talked about it. Guys like him have the resources to be able to get the proper treatment, the proper team of doctors and everybody, trainers, to get you ready to go to do your job as an NBA basketball player. And I don't know, and I'm sure, like, having, treatment, surgery, workouts, training, all of that, I'm sure he does, but it just is. It's kind of sad that he never can stay on the court, man. I just feel like if he stayed on the court, he would be arguably able to climb the ladder amongst, the greatest bigs. And right now, he's just gonna be the memory of him is gonna be more so about, especially after this year, he's just injury prone. He's great, but he's just injury prone. Even thinking back to like a LeBron, or even like going back to Kobe and all these other guys, all these other greats before him, given they're not the same position, they don't do what he does, but they lay their bodies out on the line. Kobe, we saw multiple times getting fingers popped in. We saw him shoot a free throw after a torn Achilles. Saw Michael Jordan return from, a broken leg as a kid. I mean, not a kid, but as a young player, and then coming back and becoming what he was. They weren't scared to be aggressive and still stay the course, be who they are as players. And I feel like AD has gotten so just in his head about it that he's not trying to be his full potential. He's just, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna, face up, make a shot, maybe not, I'm not gonna crash. And that's not what his team needs.
Yeah. And again, that's why they said it should have waited to put him on the top 75 list. Just first prove you don't know what his career is going to be. All that is like recency bias, and a lot of that list was recency bias for all these new players that were added. I don't believe it was objective enough. I don't know, but we all want to see AD do well, be a monster, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And as fans, we want the Lakers to click so we can see an amazing matchup potentially in the future between Lakers Warriors or Lakers Nets. It's not going to be worth watching if they don't get together.
Right. I just want to see. For me, I just want to see Russell Westbrook and Carmelo finally get a shot at a championship.
That too.
That's the reason I'm even like halfway a supporter of the Lakers this year. Obviously, I'm a Heat fan, but Carmelo is my second favorite player after D-Wade, and I would love to see him finally get what he, has never been able to do. So
we'll see. He's missing. Yeah, man, rest. So
yeah, him and rest. Russell Westbrook got one of my favorite all-time point guards too. So
it's tough, but we'll see. Again, we just know that AD is so important to that team to get what they want to get to, and he's not meeting that expectation. So that's the only reason where there's really talking about him like that. But going back to the other conversation we had about the protocols, there were a lot of players missing from the Lakers roster because they're in protocols. And in fact, there are over 63 players in COVID protocols this season, and at least 47 of them happened this month of December. And you can add even more names to that list now. You got Kevin Durant, and also making the news is you got Kyrie in protocols. Some of y'all probably asking, how can Kyrie be in protocols if he ain't playing? Good question. Turns out the Nets have reached an agreement that he'll play with them on away games. Kyrie is still not vaccinated, but he's going to be able to play these away games. What's your reaction to Kyrie playing? Shout out to Jalen Rose, though, too. He predicted that he'll be playing by Christmas. It looks like he's going to be there, too. So,
absolutely. Love Jalen Rose, man. I think it's good. I think it's overall good for the Nets, for Kyrie, for basketball. We all know Kyrie, when he's playing, when he's healthy, one of the best players in the league, hands down. But I think overall we have to look at this from a safety standpoint. Kyrie isn't vaccinated, and we have the other 90 percentile of the league's players that are entering the protocols. 47 this month. Over 47 this month. And it's only, as of today, it's December 18th. That's a lot. I don't know, and I know that the league has agreed to, and the players have agreed to do more COVID testing and changing the COVID protocols as we speak. But we don't, if we want to continue the season, we have to make some solid changes. Everybody has to make solid changes in order for games to not get canceled. Because at this point, like you said, the Lakers had at least 6 players out from COVID protocol, not injury, but just COVID protocols. And then league-wide, we're seeing teams with just barely enough people for their, the minimum rotation, like 8 players. I don't know if that means, I'm not against it. If it means shutting down for a week or two, I'm okay with that as a fan, because we don't want a repeat of 2020 where we sat, months, or I felt like it was multiple months that we sat out waiting to figure out what was next, and they came with the bubble, and we all know how that went. I think we want to see games and a semi-regular season still, but I feel like it may come to a point where we have to just pause for like a week or two and then continue, because it's 47 47 plus this month is a lot.
Yeah, they definitely look at the protocols because apparently this variant Omicron is more, it gets transmitted faster and it spreads quicker. So, and then you got that combined with this flu season in general. You know, people tend to get colds and sickness during this time of the year. So I'm sure that could probably play a role in it too. But the thing is, they do need to look at something with these protocols, and something with the league, because you have too many players who are missing. And this is across other sports too. In the NFL, they have a similar issue.
Yep.
Their players are getting COVID, and they're moving some games around, and so yeah, NBA does need to figure that out. But back to Kyrie, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. So you tell me this man is going to play only away games? I'm sure you need the manpower. I believe he's doing this because they need the manpower. Because they lost a lot of players on this protocol stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And then I got KD on there, so you need some type of revamp from the roster.
Isn't
additions to the roster? But I don't like it, man. I don't know, man. I won't be surprised if he is. I don't think so, though. I won't be surprised if he turns out he is too. But I haven't seen him on there. But so you tell me this man is going to be playing away games for you. Except the Knicks, because you can't play the Knicks because they're in New York. But
right.
What's the end game here? When you're in the playoffs, you're not going to have them for the home games. And I can strategize about that if I'm an opponent. I'll be like, all right, let's get let's beat them at their seed. Make sure we get home court advantage. We just win our home games. Like, come on, like I don't like it, man. And plus the chemistry. Not to mention about that, it could be clicking, and then you're off because one of your players is gone, they can't play. What's the end game here? I don't get it.
I think there's a workaround for it. And yeah, I know early on when we were talking about it, I didn't like it either because of not because him not taking the vaccine, but because of his.
No, I don't care about that. I'm just talking about what they're doing. I mean, I would rather trade him because it'd be better for him to play in the state that doesn't have that. You know, trade him. Then y'all be fine. Y'all can have chemistry. Kyrie can play all he wants. Y'all are good.
But still,
I'd rather have him traded than have him on the team at this point.
I get that. But Kyrie is still a great talent, man. It's gonna be hard to really. I mean, honestly, and not only he has great talent, it's gonna be hard to get some kind of like sizable return for him, but also I don't know if many teams are like willing to take on his off-court mentality, I guess, to put it. But the reason I'm saying that I'm okay with him playing the away games is because I feel like can be looked at as in the same way that like a Kawhi Leonard, right? Like he does load management, so he's not playing every game anyway. And for this, especially for Kyrie, who also has had a lot of injury problems in the past few seasons, missed games anyway. He's already missed, and then, you know, we already know the personal reasons, missing games, everything. But this, you know, allows him to come in, play, be at his best, boost his team, give them, you know, extra minutes, extra possessions, take the load off of KD and Harden. And yeah, it's gonna be weird because he won't be playing every game, or he won't be playing in Brooklyn. But I feel like it just gives them an extra edge because Kyrie's probably gonna come in refreshed, playing. You know, now the only thing you know, that's really questionable for me is practice, because if I don't know if they're gonna allow him to practice or not, or not play, or both. But That's the only thing. I feel like it's a good thing to give the Nets some relief for KD and Harden, who carry a lot of the offense, especially KD.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good point, but
it's weird. It's very weird.
It's weird. Unless you want to get his trade value up, I'm happy to see how just balling out, and then I would, all right, y'all. This is what I need. I need like a lot of picks. I need at least an all-star caliber player back.
Yep.
Let me tell you about this one rumor I've seen out there for this potential Kyrie. One potential trade I've seen. I'm not sure how this is going to work because I think California has the same vaccination rule. I don't know. We'll see. No, I don't know if they're doing that. Anyway, Kyrie straight up for Russell Westbrook. Now, if that happens, me as an OKC fan, I would love to see Russ, Harden, and KD on the same team.
Oh, no.
To right the wrongs of the past. And then, you know what? All y'all can just... Harden will be...
Shout out to
he can extend his contract with
real quick. Shout out to Wash, holding it down, keeping Q and the OKC Thunder from a championship. I appreciate that, but
I mean, two Kyrie babies, man. Like, come on.
That's
Harden didn't show up, but Harden is different now. So, if Harden was who he was today back then, we definitely had a chip, no question. But
that's debatable.
But the thing is, Kyrie, I know Kyrie will not he doesn't like to play with LeBron, I don't think. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it'll work, but this potential seeing Russ, James Harden, KD, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I mean, that would be interesting. I feel like those three had a nice thing going in OKC, and obviously they weren't the players that they are today. But seeing them constructed and how they're constructed and then playing together now would be, I feel like they could probably be better than the Brooklyn Big Three as constructed right now, honestly. But I don't think that, for one, I don't think the Lakers should trade Russell Westbrook. And two, Kyrie and LeBron, I feel like it's too much bad blood.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyrie...
Yeah, realistically, it's probably won't work, but ideally, yeah, I love the idea. But realistically, yeah, the Lakers should not be trading Russell Westbrook.
Absolutely. No way I'm trading Russell Westbrook.
No way. And,
everyone else, minus obviously LeBron and a few assets, but all those guards, they're on the trade block. I would probably want to keep. I like Malik Monk a lot. I feel like he has a lot of potential, and THT. But I've liked none, but I haven't seen him yet. Also, if Kyrie was to get traded, the Lakers would lose out on the asset because apparently he will retire. Those reports were out there. That's
so
awesome.
He probably wouldn't have him play anyway. Especially he's probably got to play with LeBron. He's like, oh yeah, I'm done. I'm announcing my retirement from the league. At the press conference with the Lakers, bro. He's like, I know y'all traded for me, but I'm gonna announce my retirement right now. Good luck to the team. But yeah, man, just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It would be interesting. But I think the Kyrie situation, Kyrie playing is good. And this is to me, is going to be good for Kyrie because I feel like he has less of a chance to get injured. And we still get to see some Kyrie. I mean, he plays the game beautifully. So
he does. He does.
A weird situation, but we're in a weird time in human history right now. So.
Right. All right.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
Well, like I said, today is December 18th. So next Saturday, next week, Christmas Day. I don't know how that's gonna go. As we know, many players, COVID protocols. Hopefully, every
Yeah,
team that's scheduled for national television is good to go, and we see some good games. And more importantly, just everyone enjoys the holiday season. But I gotta, still, I'm assuming that we're gonna have. I'm saying, full rosters, at least decent rosters for Christmas Day. Got to get
yeah.
some predictions, man.
Hmm.
And I got to get something right because my past few ones from last, last playoffs weren't the best, but I'm trying to redeem myself. So
Yeah, y'all be look out on that. Look out for that next week. Um, yeah, it means that. Yeah, we probably gotta do something special for that too, bro. We gotta talk about that some more too.
yeah,
See what we can do to on Christmas Day get that content out there. But um, I guess the final thing for me is just again shout out to Steph, shout out to IT, and I hopefully get some good basketball on Christmas. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I got you, man.
Yeah.
Just one more.
But thanks. Yeah, you go ahead.
So arguably the two best teams in basketball right now play on Christmas Day. Warriors versus Suns. I'm gonna just throw this one out there. Like this one is probably the one I want to see the most. Looking
Warriors and who?
Warriors and the Suns.
Yeah.
Warriors are 24
Warriors
and 5.
have
Suns are 23 and 5 right now.
Warriors being last time though.
It's hard to go against the Warriors, but I'm gonna go with the Warriors.
Of course, man. Everybody and their mama probably going with the Warriors.
But no slight to the Suns.
And their daddy and their sister and their cousin. No offense to the Suns though, like you said.
Yeah.
No offense. But yeah, man. So I want to thank all our subscribers, all you guys that support us on these various podcast platforms. Thank y'all for supporting us on YouTube as well. Continue to check out the content. Continue to share it if you like it. Share it with somebody you like talking hoops to. Share this podcast with them. They're in the hoop head as well. So again, we just thank y'all so much. Again, you'll see the podcast on all podcast platforms. Again, check out the YouTube. I'm your co-host, Q the Guru. We'll see y'all on Christmas Day.
Absolutely. I've been your co-host, Zay, the executive producer. Catch y'all next time.